would imagine we are live. Good morning, everybody. There's always that little delay, and I'm always wondering if we are live, but we are. So good morning, and welcome to another episode of Viva Café con Leche. I am Dr. Lori Monaco, the Badass Buddha and Weight Loss Doc. I am a transformational mindfulness coach, speaker, chiropractic physician, silly, crazy, I don't know. I need to add more stuff. I don't have as much as my co-host here. She has such a list of things that she does. And I am coming to you from another dreary day in Southern Connecticut. We have had nothing but rain. So, I mean, we needed it, but it is a dreary day nonetheless. So we're going to bring sunshine to Southern Connecticut at least. And good morning, Gladiator crew.
Good morning, Badass Buddha. Buenos días, mi gente. Namaste. I am La Margarita, your gladiator guru, your spiritual and creative healing life coach. I am this morning happy to be here with all of you. Buenos días.
She's a writer. She's an artist. She left out a lot of stuff. I think she was doing that to make me feel better because I said my list was so short. So she shortened her list to make me feel better about it.
No, not at all. Not at all. We're going to start this morning. Your taza de café. Please remember to do your mug. Oh, look at that. Hashtag taza de café. Send us your selfie, whether just your mug or your face and your mug. I'm drinking La Llave again. Café La Llave.
What am I drinking? What did I say it was? That it's Signiata? I can't remember. It's pretty good though. But I put a little bit of vanilla in. I put a little cardamom in, and it is, and a little bit of, yeah, that's it. And no, a little monk fruit. And it tastes very good. It's a beautiful cup of coffee this morning. And
as it should be.
Yes, actually, I was thinking about what you said about how it needs to, I think this is a conversation that you and I had during one of our planning meetings, and you're talking about how the coffee needs to be just so and perfect in the mornings, that first cup of coffee, because of the eating plan that we're on, we can't take in certain things and have certain luxuries with the coffee. And so we're trying to navigate around how to make the coffee better than just having it black. So we were talking about that, and because I wasn't enjoying the coffee, it was just to drink. And today I'm enjoying it a little bit more, but it does depend on the coffee, because that one brand that I bought, not to diss a brand, but this was the most awful coffee I've ever had. It was that Hawaiian one that I showed you, which only 10% of the coffee beans were from Hawaii. It was just awful. I don't know if it was the flavor that I got, but I have to try the regular coffee to see. But the coffee that I bought, I tried it one more time and I was like, oh my God, I made it for my mother. And she goes, that coffee was awful. And I'm like, oh my God, I thought it was just me. And this is a woman who only gets Folgers, she buys those brands of stuff, chock full of nuts, whatever's on sale. So for her to say that coffee was bad, I'm like, oh, it must have been.
It must have been. No, coffee should be the first thing that caresses your palate, and it is absolutely satisfying. So what is café con leche to me? I just want to read something brief. It is nostalgia mixed with a bit of what was. It is the spirit of a new day gifted to me. It is my buenos dias, my comfort. It is the whisper of hope after my prayers of gratitude. It is the invocation of that sweet childhood memory of waking up after a bad dream at 3 a.m. and sitting at the kitchen table with abuelita having a deliciously hot cup of café con leche. That's what's coffee to me.
Oh.
So there's no...
You know what I mean? She's
there's no...
This is not, it's good. That's me. See, she's all this beautiful conversation, and I'm like, it's a good cup of coffee. That's mine. That's my vocabulary.
I can't play with coffee. No, it's just it's just too sentimental in that aspect. So do you want to do your intention for the day?
Yes, we're going to keep it simple. We're going to set an intention for today. We have a lot coming up this weekend, and it ties into what we're going to talk about today because we actually changed our subject. But this weekend is a big weekend, and I want you to know, so the intention we're going to set is that I have the power to create amazing change, and I will start today. So the intention for today is I have the power to create amazing change, and I will start today. So set that as your intention today and go forward with thinking of all the things that you can do that are powerful, that you can create change with, starting with yourself. So I have the power to create change, and I'm going to start today.
Beautiful. And my mantra is be loud about the things that are important to you. So everything must be important to me. Be loud about the things that are important to you. Be loud, stand in your truth. That's what the mantra is about. If you stand in your truth, you can weather every storm that comes your way, mi gente.
That's correct. That's right. Let's do some shout outs before we start talking about today's topic. So let's see, did you do a share yet? Because I think I got some of your peeps on here. So,
yes, I did a share. I have a share.
So Tiffany's on. Good morning, Tiffany. Brian. Elitza's on. Connie's on this end. I got Connie on my end. So Natalie Nicole Forte and Michelle Houston are both watching. Good morning. And Michelle says, good morning, beautiful ladies. Tiffany says, good morning on this rainy day. I'm thankful for the sunshine you two will bring us today.
Oh,
that's just lovely, Tiffany. Maribel Cruz and Lashonda Jackson are both watching. And anybody else on your end that I didn't mention?
Yes, good morning, Lillian. Iritza's on mine. My sister Connie Rodriguez says, good morning, my middle sister. Love you. Hi, Lori. My son-in-law, Argenis Torres. Good morning, Papi. And Jolly Vet Rivera from Orlando. So we got Bridgeport, Spring Hill, Norwalk, and Orlando in the house. Good morning.
So I don't know why I get confused with this. Your son-in-law is Argenis. Mm-hmm. Who's Henny?
Henny, that's him. We call him Henny.
Oh, it's the same. Okay, you know, he's Puerto Rican?
Yes.
The Puerto Ricans and their freaking nicknames. It's like you got to memorize like 3-4 names. And because they'll be talking about one person and then you'll be like, oh, who's that? It's the same person.
Yeah.
This time I thought it was 2 different people.
You got to stay woke when you're around us.
I know, man, woke. I'm telling you. And I got a tour of their house and it's beautiful. So Henny, it's beautiful. I loved the tour, and it was good seeing Tiffany yesterday. She just popped in to the video yesterday what we were on, and it was nice because I haven't seen her in a while. I haven't spoken to her. So
she's on. She just came on. Good morning, my
good
beautiful
morning, Tiffany.
Emerald daughter. Okay, so
and Andrea Santiago is also on. Good morning. So look at this. We got a pretty good engagement this morning. Michelle says she has shared, and so we are changing the topic. So hopefully this will be actually a good topic. It's not that we didn't want to do breast awareness part 2. Part of it was that we were looking to find a breast cancer survivor and couldn't seem to get somebody to come on or that was willing to come on. We are going to honor breast cancer survivors towards the end of the program today, but we had the opportunity to interview a bunch of people that have a lot to do with what is coming up this week, which is voting. And so today's episode is actually going to be dedicated to #HopeVotes, and we're going to have representatives on just discussing about the program and the organization and voting and your power and you know, a lot of people have been voting all along because we have those ballot boxes. So like people have been just, you know, putting stuff in. So even if you voted already, it's still great to hear because this is a great organization. So we're going to have 3 people, right? 3 people that are going to today to talk. So let's jump in on that. And I'm going to introduce, my paper is all messed up. So I'm going to introduce who we have. So today we're going to welcome, so Viva Cafe con Leche has the honor to welcome 3 talented individuals who inspire hope, capital HOPE, to communities both near and far. We're going to welcome Donna Thompson-Bennett, co-director of the National Leadership Training Institute, George Velasco, owner of the Greenwich photo booth He's also a professional photographer with over 30 years of experience. And Carmen Nieves, you know, our lovely Carmen, PLTI Graduate and Facilitator. And we know that Carmen does like so much more. Like Carmen just rocks. Like she just totally is always involved with so many organizations and supporting women and people in general. So we're going to bring them on, and I'm going to continue reading their bio. So let's bring everybody on. So we're going to admit, and I see that Donna and Carmen are here, but George should be coming on soon. So let me read a little bit of Donna's bio while everybody's coming on. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Donna has 30 years experience in advocacy. 25 of those years are centered on parent leadership and civic engagement. Donna considers herself a global citizen who is passionate and committed to social justice and race equality. Donna is an active member of her beloved church, Mount Avery, Baptist.
It's Avery. You're right. It was
Avery.
okay.
Okay. Donna and her husband Anthony live and love in Bridgeport, Connecticut, with their son Anthony and granddaughter Nyla. Now the creative collaborators, Carmen Nieves, the parent leader, and George Velasco, the Greenwich-based photo booth entrepreneur, were inspired by a Hope mural painted on the side of the building located at 305 Knowlton Street in Bridgeport, which is the Artist Co-op. So if you get a chance, you know, if you're in that area, check it out. It was created by Jason Naylor, a New York City artist. Today is the launch for the GOTV Civic Engagement and Social Awareness Project, titled I Have Hope, So I Am Going to Vote, followed by a live event this Sunday, November 1st, 2020, and will run until Election Day. So this is phenomenal. So
Yes, it is.
Good morning. Where's George, man?
I don't know.
Oh, wait, I think he's here. Oh, here he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Talking junk and he's already here. He's like waiting to get on. Oh my God, look at his picture. Fantastic. Good morning, George.
How are you?
Oh, that's good.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
So, okay, how do we want to start this? We got a lot of fabulous people, and I'm just going to sit back and let you all do your thing. So,
But I just want to cut in and say, Donna,
Yes.
I love you for loving and living Bridgeport.
Yes.
You know, I have been in Tampa, Florida for 14 years, but Bridgeport it witnessed my birth. You know, it helped raise me to be the woman that I am today. I actually was born and raised in Father Panic Village.
Awesome.
So, and let me tell you, when I hear people talking about Bridgeport, ooh, my radar's up, and I say, you talking about Bridgeport, it's like talking about me being Puerto Rican, and that's not a war you're going to win.
So I'm so glad that I'm talking about it in a way that it's peace and love, and we're not fighting. We both love this community, and
I love it.
Carmen and George as well. So I'm excited to be here with all of you, and particularly with Carmen Nieves, a parent leader, and George, who is just a tremendous contributor to what's great in terms of community. So I
can't wait till Bridgeport really steps back up. They get there and then they stop and and it's in the most prime location in the freaking state. It is located in a perfect spot, and yet it's like, you know, I mean, they've just unfortunately had such horrible people in power that it stepped in the way of their growth so often, but they're in such a great spot. And I've always been like, office was there for years. I had my chiropractic office was in Bridgeport. I was born there. And I always wanted, I'm like, come on, look at you. Look at these beautiful buildings. Like, they just do it already. And then, you know, but it's people like you that keep that
Absolutely
going.
Absolutely. And don't stop.
Right.
Just, we can't stop. I would like to start with the first question, and then we can talk a little bit about everything. But Carmen, can you share what is #HopeVote?
Good morning, everybody, and I'm so excited. First, I want to just say good morning to all the beautiful people, especially Miss Donna, who I just call and be like, I have this idea, and she's like, let's run with it. And then George, who's like, you know, just takes care of everything because I have the ideas. And then I'm like, George, we need to work it out. He's like, but this may not work. I'm like, no, it's got to work. It's got to work. So I have the ideas and he fixes it. And this is so hashtag Hope Vote. It's kind of, George and I were talking about, you know, business and photography and how, you know, the dynamics of COVID has really changed the way that parents engage and people engage. And we just started having an idea. It's like, what can we do to bring positivity and get people to just vote? But not only vote, not talk about who you're voting for, because that's not the issue. It's about why people are making the choices that we're making and making decisions. And we started talking about how families are having conversations about presidential elections and local elections. And we started talking about, you know, parents make, not just parents, but all of us in general, make decisions every day. And as a parent, how can we shine that to give it kind of a global, you know, message? And George and I were talking about, because he's one of the artists that can use that space to do family photos. And we were talking about the mural, and we tried to reach the artist who's just has all this graffiti work that he does. And we started talking about how he has this virtual type photo booth, and how can we use that to connect with people around the world, you know, time differences and things like that. So we just started talking, and we're like, you know what? People have to have hope. So they got to vote, whether, you know, whatever the choices that they're making, they have to use their civic choice. So we just started getting all excited about it. And I have to tell you, I haven't been able to like think about anything else for days. So then the next thing, so then the next thing I start talking to George. It's like, who could we talk to? And we remember that early on when Donna became a parent, we did her family photos. And it's like, wait a second, this is like a no-brainer. National type of connection, connecting families virtually, because we've been doing some of the training and things virtually. It just became like this awesome thing. And then because of that hope wall, our hope is that people will take a picture, send it to a number, which I'm going to ask George to talk a little bit about when it's his turn. And then it'll send you back an image, almost like a photo booth experience, but virtually wherever you are in the country. So I am excited. The slogan is going to be, I have hope, so I'm going to vote. And we're going to be asking people to do two things. One is to take the picture, hashtag.
Yeah, there it is.
Yes. But we want to do it now. We want to do it now because we changed. George put the logo of the National Parent Leadership Training Institute and some other partners on it. So you want the new one, so that one. So if you did it already, do it again. So we talked about that. So we're asking people to take the picture themselves, send it to this number, and then they're going to get that image back. And we're asking them to post it to social media and share why they're voting, not for who, because the National Parent Leadership Training Institute and all of the stuff that we do is nonpartisan. So it's about activism. It's about the activism piece of it. So we're asking them to do that, to post that. And then on the day of the event, which is going to be this Sunday, November 1st at 10 o'clock, we're also going to have like a little video camera set up for people to share their hopes about why they live in whatever city they live in, what is their hope for the future. You know, I want more healthcare resources. I want to be able to write my dog off of my taxes. I don't know, whatever makes you happy, right? So that's a little bit about what the project is about. And it's critical that we do it through a network of parents that are civically engaged. Absolutely. So that's a little bit about the project, and I can't wait to hear about
the November 1st, is it a
it's a live event.
But is it physical?
Yeah, it's going to be at where the mural is at 305 Knowlton Street in Bridgewater.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't say that one. Okay, so 305 Knowlton Street, November 1st. What time?
from 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
But this
Okay.
is going to continue all the way through the day of the election. But we wanted to give parents a medium to stand in front of the mural, touch it, do a pose in front of it, whatever makes you happy, and then shoot the live like PSA about why they're voting. Not for who, but why they're voting. Why does their vote count?
That is awesome.
And thank you guys for letting us come on like last minute. I call up and I'm like, we don't have a lot of time because the elections are already Tuesday.
Yeah.
So thank you.
Text messages coming in at like 11 o'clock at night. I shut my phone off at a point. I got up this morning and went, holy crap, where am I gonna, like, I got to print a lot of stuff out this morning. But thank you, Gladiator Guru, because she was the one who jumped on this. And Carmen, your enthusiasm never dulls, and we love it. Like, just to make everybody, just to remind everybody, the reason we have this show is because of this lady, because of Carmen. Like, that's the reason Viva Café con Leche exists. She's remember how she was saying she gets an idea and she keeps going with it and she creates it? That's Carmen. That's why we have this. So we're thrilled to have you on. When Margie mentioned it, I'm glad we were able to accommodate it. So perfect.
This is perfect. Yep.
Go ahead, Gladiator.
Carmen is but Carmen, you also had another hashtag since you're talking now. It's called hashtag Parents Whole Ad.
Who lead? Oh,
who lead? Look at me. Duh.
Don't get it wrong, Margie. It's important.
I got it wrong. You mean don't get it wrong?
Hashtag Parents Who Lead.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. I love it.
That one's awesome too. So you got the Hope Vote and hashtag Parents Who Lead.
And we'll put all of that on. Like, we'll put all of that in the description of the video when it's like, finalized, and on YouTube as well. So it'll have both.
Yes, most definitely.
Dr. Lori, in the excitement, Carmen might not have shared this, but it will be a safe social distancing event. We're encouraging everyone to come out in their masks. They'll be able to take them off for the photos, or unless they want the mask on in the photo, but they'll only be with themselves individually or with family at the actual mural. And then other times they'll need have their mask on. So that everybody's safe.
That's
and
awesome.
Great. And listen, it only says Dr. Lori on the bottom, but Lori is like, Donna, just call me.
I like saying
Dr.
Lori.
Buddha, if you want to say, oh, you like the Dr. Lori? I paid a lot of money for it. That's all that means. I'm still paying it back. It's like a freaking mortgage. Okay.
Dr. Lori, it just gives you a sensation that rolls off your tongue when you say
like
doctor.
Your coffee? Oh, really? So it's magically orgasmic? Is that what you're trying to tell me? It's magically orgasmic. Okay.
All day. Anything else, Carmen? Because I did have another question for you.
If we could, the real messaging in this is about the work that we're doing civically with parents across the country. So please, I would love, I can't tell the story like you tell it, Donna. So please, talk a little bit about the organization, what we do, where we are nationally. I heard we're in Hawaii, so next time we're there, I want to go with you and like carry your luggage or whatever.
Me too.
So Donna.
Thank you, Carmen. And again, thanks everybody for having us this morning. I just want you to know I have I call milk with a little bit of coffee. So I have more leche than anything. And it's in our National Parent Leadership Institute mug. And on the back that I see that is kind of my hope is that parent leadership for engaged families, informed communities, and healthy democracy. That's what we're all about. And so Carmen is a graduate like myself. I'm a later graduate of the Bridgeport Parent Leadership Training Institute. And this institute is a family civics initiative that actually started here in Connecticut through what used to be known as the Commission on Children. And it's a legislative body. Elaine Zimmerman, who is now our board chair for the national work, was the executive director then of the Commission on Children. And she started this family civics initiative, listening to parents, hearing from parents who knew what they needed to have to encourage their children to be successful for the start of school. So it was all around school readiness. And she got these great ideas from them. And she said, okay, now how do we package this and get this to the legislature so they know what policies and practices they need to put in place? And when she got to that point in the conversation, no matter where she was, it was in urban communities, suburban or rural, there was this pregnant pause. And the parents who had generated these great ideas would say, but I'm just a parent. And when she heard that, she said, but you're the same parents who were brilliant generating this. Of course, we can take this the next step. What does this really mean? And what they shared with her very honestly is that they had gotten to a place. And so again, this was almost 30 years ago, where they felt that they were not a part of democracy, that they didn't have civic voice. They understood that they were their child's first and continuing teacher. But somehow they believe that once they elected officers or officers were appointed in local and state and national elections, that they then took over making those policy decisions. So it was wonderful because she got to remind them that democracy, small d democracy in this nation actually means we the people. You are the people and you are the representatives for your children. So not only are you your child's, first and continuing teacher, you're in the position to be the best advocate. And she said, what do we need to do to help you change that thinking? Do you want a lobbying group? And the parents said, no, we want to gain or retrain ourselves around the civic skills so that we can be those advocates for our children. And so a course was created based on what parents said they wanted to learn, to be able to be engaged civically, locally, state, and of course on a national level. Well, if we speed ahead, this has happened throughout Connecticut for over 27 years. And people started hearing about it in other communities maybe 15 years ago and started kind of, what Elaine said, doing like the little phone call. If you imagine there was a time when we had phone booths and people call, wait, we're hearing about this parent leadership piece. Is this really what they're saying it is? Where parents are actually gaining the skills and they're going to the city council, they're going to the state legislature, they're deciding that they're going to run for office, that they're going to be engaged to change policy and practices in their very communities? She said, yes. She said, well, they would say, we want that too. How do we get it? So informally, we started going to other communities. And then when we kept getting those phone calls, she said, okay, we have to kind of organize around this. We need a national team. And so I was really fortunate to be engaged in the work in the early stages as a member of a civic design team, then as a facilitator. Then I had the joy of being the site coordinator in Bridgeport for a period of time. And she invited me to be a part of a team in terms of national trainings around this work, and then to be a part of the national team to replicate. The Commission on Children, that's now the Commission on Women, Children, Seniors, Equity and Opportunity,
Wow.
granted, their board decided that they would give us the license to begin to create a national replication arm that also does system capacity work. So now the National Parent Leadership Institute, in partnership with Connecticut PLTI, we are in about 52 communities throughout the country. Connecticut is one state location. Colorado is another state location. Wyoming is another state location.
Wow.
But Carmen is right. We have 2 communities in Hawaii. We have communities in California. We have New Orleans. We have Florida communities, Jacksonville, Sunrise. We have been in Maine. We are, of course, in a number still of communities within Connecticut, Alexandria, Virginia, Decatur, Illinois, Kansas City, Missouri. So we are throughout, and we have had the blessing of being a part of a sovereign nation. Wind River, which is located within the state of Wyoming, is our indigenous community that has also done PLTI.
Wow.
So we do this in a way that's nonpartisan, right? We're nonpartisan, we're parent-centered, and we're anti-racist. And what we do is we partner with parents and other community leaders to bring about and generate positive outcomes for children, as well as, and we do it by engaging them civically and also advancing democracy and increasing racial equity. So that's who we are and how we do it, but we do it in partnership with other community organizations. Like in Bridgeport, we work with RIASAP. Diana Planis is our local coordinator here at this time. We have an amazing initiative that's a parallel curriculum that involves children, known as the Children's Leadership Training Institute. All of our communities don't do it, but Bridgeport is your flagship example of the CLTI, led by Gina Levon Simpson and a team of great parents. Some of them are parent leader graduates, and some are just people who are committed to the work of children. So we're excited because we do believe that parents leading help to create a healthy democracy. And I think we all agree we want and we need a healthy democracy. And so we can't stop.
Yes.
We can't stop because of that. That's what gives us hope. We know that everyone gets sick, right? Everyone might get the cold. Someone might get COVID, whatever it is, something happens and you may not be as healthy as you aspire to be. But it is in those times when things seem like someone is not healthy or the democracy is not as healthy as we would want it to be, that's when we really have to do the work. We have to triage, we have to promote getting out the vote. We were big on promoting people doing the census because we understand that that's another civic example of how we can all be engaged. And so we're hoping that people won't give up and that people will recognize that their vote does count.
Well,
And that they have a reason to vote.
Change starts within us, and accountability is the piece here too. Because if you're not willing, you can't sit there and complain about your government and the people that are representing you if you don't go and vote. You can't. You don't really have the right to do that. So this is a really big important thing. If you don't like something, then you have to say you have a voice. You don't just say, "Who am I? I'm just one person." Well, one person comes into 2, and then it becomes into 4, and then it becomes into 10, and so on and so forth. And then like I had there's a lot to talk about here, but I just want to share one really quick story without detail. But in the beginning of the year, I had the opportunity to go up twice to the Capitol because we were fighting a bill that was coming up, and it was incredible to see. It was incredible to see about how engaged people were and how they came together. And regardless of what was going on and what we were going for, it was just nice to see how many people showed up and were there, and it was peaceful, and we had a voice, and they saw it. That was the big thing. And that's why we can't forget. I think that's a beautiful thing that this organization is teaching, that we have the power. We have the power.
Yes, and with the indigenous and everything, that's just so inclusive all around. So it's very beautiful. Like I'm sitting here listening, going, "Wow," So I'm happy to meet you people from the parent leadership. I was a part of it, the first class in Bridgeport. Remember, Carmen? But I didn't complete it. Yeah, long time ago. Woo, I feel old. Don't make me feel old.
No. Listen, I was there, so no, don't feel old.
I just became a grandma for the 4th time 2 days ago. Yeah. So, all right. So my next question, George, all eyes on you, George. Okay. I am curious because Carmen brought the photo booth to one of our Ajusta tu Corona events. When was that, Carmen? Do you remember?
You're muted, Carmen.
It was like maybe not this event because this event was virtual. Maybe the one before this one. Actually, we did it twice. I think we had it twice.
And it was phenomenal. It was so much fun, and it's like I can't understand that. So I'm very curious and excited to learn about the virtual one because I sent my picture in, I think, a couple days ago, and I was like, "Wow, I look glamorous." The back was great. So. How exactly does it work? Like, I know Carmen talked a little bit about it, but what is the photo booth virtual experience?
So the virtual photo booth is essentially, you can take a picture of yourself, or you can send a picture that you already have on your phone. You text it to a telephone number, and then we work some magic in the background. We take away the background and we replace it. In this case, it's with the Hope wall. And it has logos, it has the text, whatever you want it to have on it. It's going to be sent back to you within a couple of minutes. So we're starting that now. It's officially ready to go, and also Carmen mentioned that we're going to be doing that. So this virtual photo booth is for the nationwide activation that we're doing. For the one at Bridgeport, we're going to be there from 10 to 2, and we will have a photo booth that we will take the picture in front of the mural there. There's other murals that people can take a look at and take pictures of. We really encourage people to go because it's a lot of fun. It's the Knowlton. Sharon's a great friend of mine, so we want to kind of get people over there. So on site, we will be taking pictures, and they can text their pictures nationwide. It's not a problem. They can do it later on, and this will be going until Election Day. Election Day is when it's going to be ending.
And it is quick because it did take just a couple minutes to get my picture back. So you know what? It's the little things that get me excited. And I was like, whoa, I'm loving all of that. And so what is the number that people would text?
It's the telephone number is 929-305-1976.
And I'm going to put that right in the comments right now.
Yes.
They can send as many pictures as they want. They just keep on sending it, and they're going to keep getting pictures back. You know, it's great. They can send different orientations, square, horizontal, vertical. It'll all go through. It knows how to handle it, and it's really some kind of magic that we have going on here.
Okay, there we go. Put it on. I put it on the.
So it's you, George. You created this, because I know it's my understanding that both you and Carmen came up with the idea of hashtag HOPEVOTE.
So Carmen is an old friend of mine. I've known her before. I even knew
Everybody knows Carmen. It's like, who doesn't know Carmen?
Wait, but did you hear what he just said? He knew Carmen way before he even knew he knew her.
It's true. Our parents put us in a creative workshop when we were little. But I didn't really notice our work together until we started sharing an interest in photography when my granddaughter was born. So we've known each other for a long time, and it just says a lot about. I just put a comment in there for George. Oh, what are you talking about, man? we don't say those things to women. But when I tell you that George is somebody who's creative, talented, he's somebody that just figures things out, and I am not that person. I am like the idea person. Margie knows. I'll have like a ton of ideas. I'm like, yeah, but you got to work it out. Like, I don't know all the logistics.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful thing, though.
And
so a good person.
Yeah, so before we go, I just want to make sure that people understand what we're asking. So this is about people sharing why they're voting, not who they're voting for. So that's really, really important to this whole thing. So we're asking people to send a picture of themselves. Either you have it on your phone, you take a selfie, you could take a picture with you and your coffee mug, because I did that yesterday. You can take a picture with you and your pet. You can take a picture of your kids. What's motivating you to vote, right? So we're asking people to take the picture. We're asking them to use their social media and the hashtags that we provided. Hashtag parents who lead, hashtag please use Viva Café con Leche, because we want to make sure that we're tying everything back, because this show also is national, right? Like, the whole idea that this came up was like, you know, the way that we're meeting with the people we love has changed, and the way that we're having conversations has changed. And I'll tell you this really quick story. Margie has this whole ritual about making a cup of coffee. I'm watching her, Donna. It's taking 20 minutes while we're on a Zoom. She's like heating up the coffee. She's like using a thing to like drain it. I mean, she's frothing the milk. Donna, I exaggerate you not. It was like 20 minutes.
Go ahead, girl.
And she had like, you know, so I was like, you know what? You are such like a people person, and she'll stand with somebody, Donna, just like you. Like, she'll remember the person's name. Donna has this thing, Margie, where like she'll be in a group of like 20 people. By the end of the day, she knows every single parent's name, every single one, and their children. There's just such a talent in the way that people relate to each other, and the empowerment that comes from feeling like you make a difference, and the feeling like you are connecting. So I'm watching Margie, Donna, and George make this cup of coffee for like 20 minutes. I'm like, what in the world are you doing? I said, you know, you have this natural ability to just like connect with people and have these conversations. And she walks all over the place, and she like will have like a conversation with somebody over like a cup of coffee or just standing in line. I'm like, you've connected with so many people. You should do a show where we're talking over coffee. So she's like, I need you to hashtag you and your coffee cup with your coffee. You know, I need you to hashtag all of that. So that's national too. So when we were thinking about how do we give this a global presence about getting out the vote, you know, and one of the things that even Donna and George and Margie and I hadn't had a chance to talk to Lori, is that parents make decisions, like Donna said, every day. We're focusing on the presidential, election, but there's local elections happening right now of people who we love and support and all of that, without mentioning any names. But also, I was sharing with Margie and Donna that my 7-year-old grandson, AJ, was asking me who I'm voting for. So that's telling me that families are having these conversations. My husband was speaking with his brother that just came from Florida. And when I exaggerate you not, he was on the phone with him for like 40 minutes talking about why he needs to go out and vote. He can't because he's here now in Connecticut and he's a resident of Florida. But the whole thing about having it be one vote makes a difference. One voice makes a difference. One person makes a difference. I mean, and with civic engagement, and we talk about leadership, we talk about that leadership is really influence. And what's the influence we have as parents? And even if it just goes around with our own family, right, Donna? Like, it's like they're the first volunteer. George is like my brother. So I'm like, George, I have this idea. Well, I don't know how I'm going to work it out. But you got this, right? You got this. You can help me. And he's like, Carmen, but it can't work. I'm like, what do you mean it can't work? We're going to figure it out. We were trying to get in touch with the artist, who's this phenomenal graffiti artist that George mentioned, Jason Naylor. And he's got like this breast cancer awareness. We tried to reach out to him to participate, but it's just like really short notice. But your show today is about breast cancer awareness. He has like this whole civic campaign that he did a wall about that. And he also did a wall that says, life is tough, but so are you. And then when we looked at the Hope mural, it just like all the pieces aligned to talk about if we have to have hope, even in the worst case scenario. Parents are making a difference. They're surviving, they're thriving. People in communities are banding together in a way that they didn't before. So Donna, I want to just end with you and bring it back. So the National Parent Leadership Training Institute and PLTI, and they're called Family Leadership Initiatives throughout the country. If somebody wanted to like be a part of that, how can they be a part of that? Do they contact you? Do they contact?
Well, they definitely, what you can do is the best way is probably to go to our website, and it talks about if you want more information. So I would say it's really simple, www.parentswholead.org.
And they can just fill out an application.
You also have my email. I think, Carmen, you would share with them, and that's donna.parentswholead@gmail.com. That's the easiest way, and it's a way to ensure that I will connect you to, we have an amazing team, a national implementation specialist, Zulema Gomez. If you're in Connecticut, Malvette Hill, who's our state leader, and just a great team of other people who help to do this work. But we're a small team and a mighty team. I have to also make a celebration and correction. I was so excited. And because Anthony and Ahmad mean the same thing, Lori, I let you rename my son. Ahmad is the son who Carmen and George took photos, family photos. And I'd have to do a shout out here. Both my children were birthed in my heart, in the heart of my husband. So Ahmad is an amazing young man who's now 13 years old. We met him at 5 months. So I always say my doula was the Department of Children and Families here in Bridgeport. And so we are proud foster care and adoptive parents. And I just do that shout out because I know that there are other families out there who are also in the same category, but also that there are children out there who need people to step up. And maybe the leadership you're going to do is to actually invite and love and care for a child who needs a parent in your home. So that's my promo always, that there are many ways for us to be family.
Absolutely.
Fabulous.
That's beautiful.
Margie, can I just insert something? Because I think Donna made like a really, really good point. This is called the Parent Leadership Training Institute, but not all our alum are parents. Some are teachers and doctors and, you know, elected officials. So it's really important that people understand that this is about anyone that has an interest in improving the lives of children and families. So thank you, Donna, for saying that. And I can't believe Ahmad is 13. I'm just like,
I know. And the other thing I wanted to say, that the Institute is one component of the work, but the full name for the national, we took out training because we also do the system capacity building work, where we work with communities who want to be more authentic and engaging families and engaging parents as partners in decision making. because they recognize that at the end of the day, if they are representing the community, they're representing those children and families within that community. We also are big believers in communityship. Yes, we celebrate those who decide that they are going to continue their journey here and become citizens, but we are very open to the fact that it's a course in democracy, and we understand our democracy really means across difference in all the people. And we don't believe anyone's illegal. Let's just say it that way. We really are supporters of the fact that there are many contributing members of our community across all types of difference, coming from various countries that make this nation the nation that it is in terms of an inclusive nation. I know that there are things that we need to improve upon, and we have parents who are working on that, but that's the other beauty. We really do this nonpartisan in a way across difference. And so, because at the end of the day, the common ground of caring and wanting best outcomes in terms of education, health, and safety for our children, that is what brings people together. And we believe that democracy actually happens in conversation across difference. Carmen and I and George, Lori, and Margaret, we don't have to agree on everything. We don't have to be disagreeable. We each have the right to our thoughts and our positions around how policy should happen. But if there's a way that we can come together to get something done that is a win-win for all of us and the people we care about, then that's what we center our work in. So that's another thing that gives us hope.
Hope. You know, we got to wrap up, but I, you know, hope, when I heard all of this about hope, let me tell you, when my husband was dying of ALS, he, his mantra every morning was to awake in hope, live your day full of faith, and always believe in miracles. You know, and so that hope is just so, people say it, you know what, it's like everything else, you know, it's a positive and negative to everything. But as long as you keep it balanced, it is the most beautiful thing to have in your life daily, because you know what, life is going to beat you up. So you got to be kind to yourself. And this is the year of virtual love. So let's just, and I'm happy to have shared it with all of you. It's like, George, I wish I can go to Bridge. I'm going to Bridgeport, but it's not going to be during your film, because I got to meet my new baby grand. But I mean, this is so exciting. I wish you much success, all of you, and all that you do. And you know, Carmen and I have been friends. Wow, it's gonna put a number on me. But since what, 98, 99?
Old friends, right? Old friends.
And I just think it's phenomenal. And you don't connect with everybody for long periods of time, even after you're no longer co-workers. But Carmen has been a blessing in my life, as I have been in her life, because Carmen knows that I'm just magically orgasmic and phenomenal. And so
You take your selfie of us at Essie?
look at she's taking a selfie of us. So Donna, I thank you.
Thank you.
George. Yeah. Twisting like that.
Everybody has these wonderful things to say. You know, I like the word hope. You know, this is the year for hope, you know, if ever there was one, I think, you know. We can always use some hope, but now especially. And like, my hope is that after this pandemic and everything that everyone's been through, that we're just at least a little bit better as people, you know what I mean? That we learned something, you know, in a political climate, that we see that we need to talk. This is all kind of, I think this is good stuff. You know, we're all talking about it. As Carmen said, her grandson was talking about it. So, you know, we're talking about it here in the household. You know, we have a 13-year-old and 18-year-old here. So we talk about these things. And I think it's very, very important, you know, because we're not only just raising our own children, we're raising our grandchildren, because, you know, whatever we teach our kids, they're going to tell their kids, you know.
Absolutely.
So, you know, so thank you so much for having me. I hope people come in. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, but I'm thank you for having me. You know.
No, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for coming on. And November 1st, everybody, Sunday, November 1st is the live event in Bridgeport at 305 Knowlton Street. So get your picture taken, support the right to vote, the HOPE hashtag, HOPEVOTE, you know, like get out there and do this. And so if you're in the area, definitely, you know.
But if you're not in the area, please, because I'm going to do it as soon as we hang up. Call that number. George, can I send you like 5 selfies? Because I just can't pick.
I was thinking the same thing.
Listen, it's
Dated.
unlimited. It's unlimited. It goes,
no.
it starts right now and goes all the way through election.
Okay.
And so you can post a different picture a day with the same backdrop. So use all
that's
five.
awesome.
That's true. So the
That's
numbers,
awesome.
all the information is on the chat box.
Donna, hold up the vote card again.
The comments and then the
I want to see your face.
I don't think you can see both.
Yes, you can't see both, Carmen.
The comment section, and we're going to put it in the description for this particular video for both the Facebook and the YouTube pages. So you will have the information to be able to, the hashtags and the number and all that beautiful stuff. The event too on Sunday.
That's awesome.
So much
And
for
I
everybody.
celebrate all the parents who are leading in Bridgeport and across this nation. There are parents who are advocating in the midst of COVID-19. There are those who are being poll workers. There are those who are running for office. There are those who are getting people to the polls. There are those who are on the front lines in terms of peaceful protests because of the pandemic of racial injustice. And so we at MPLI just celebrate you and encourage you to continue and moving forward in hope, peace, and love. Love the backdrop, Dr. Lori. Love the backdrop.
Thank
Beautiful. Wait, what? Can I just interrupt? Because George was trying to say something, but you know, you're in a group of women, Papa. You got to.
Oh, I apologize,
yeah,
George.
you gotta step up, my friend.
So I just wanted to make sure that people knew that the event there is on Sunday, but they can go there anytime before or after.
Right, on their own.
They can
Okay.
go. We're gonna have a little bit of music there. We're gonna have a little festive, you know. So please stop by. Like I said, anytime before or after, we will be there. Any questions, and you know, they can reach out to us.
Great, fantastic.
That is awesome. Absolutely. Oh, you know what? I thought Carmen said you were absolutely fabulous. I didn't know that was the name of his thing. Maron.
That's it.
My
And George
bad.
is absolutely fabulous too.
So hashtag hope votes, right? And hashtag parents who lead. What? I got it right.
Yes.
That's-
Great.
All right, mi
Great.
gente.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Oh, stay wonderful
Bye.
and safe.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye. Thank
And
you, Donna.
Love you, Carmen. Thank
Bye,
you.
George. Talk to
You
you later.
again, George.
Ladies, thank you for everything. I love you guys to pieces.
Yes.
I can't always, log on or anything like that because I'm taking my husband to work, but I do listen. And I'm
Thank you.
you'll get more viewership, that more parents will get involved. And
Excellent.
thank you for taking on not only this topic, but I really want to listen about resources and things like that for breast cancer awareness. So
Well,
Yes.
we're gonna try and do it in 4 minutes, okay?
Yes,
Bye-bye.
yeah.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
bye, guys.
That was awesome.
All right, that was awesome. So yeah, we have a few minutes left. So let's just take a few moments to honor the breast cancer awareness people, or the breast cancer awareness, those that have been touched by breast cancer, whether you've had it or you've had it, you're dealing with it, you are a family member of somebody that hasn't and struggling with it. So what do you want to say, Gladiator Guru? What do we want to say in the last few minutes to honor?
I want to just use the word encouragement. I want you to be aware and to awaken those senses that we own, that we possess, and to do your self-checks. Do your self-checks. Have someone do the self-checks for you monthly. Go and do your yearly testing. If you can't afford it, find out where they do it for free. I think it's important that we take charge of our lives and we do our own self, what is it called? The self-exam,
Self-breast exam.
the self-touchy, right? And then, but you know, the bottom line is fill your cup with all the positive energy you possibly can, so that your self-love is going to remind you all the time what you have to do, and remind yourself of how important you are. So those self-checks are going to be like breathing and making sure that you put it in your calendar for your yearly exams, and to live in hope and let faith guide you. And just know that if you eat healthy, this is Lori, Dr. Lori, the badass Buddha, is going to talk to you about that part. Go ahead. Talk about the nutritional part of, I talked about the touchy-feely. Touchy-feely. Now you talk about the other part.
Well, one thing about the touchy-feely is love yourself and love your breasts. you know,
Yeah.
enjoy them. And if you've already had a mastectomy, enjoy enjoy yourself anyway. You know, be proud of your scars, be proud of, who you are right now, because who you are is within you, not the outward look. It's who you are within. And eating healthy is a big part. You know, pay attention to what you're eating. Processed foods high in sugar, foods high in really like processed stuff. I mean, those are the things that you want to steer clear of. Question foods that have a lot of hormones in them. They all show higher risks for individuals for breast cancer. And, you know, it's about just owning your spirit, owning your wisdom, owning your knowledge. Ask questions when you go to the doctor's office. Don't be afraid to engage the doctor. Don't be afraid to engage the nursing staff. It is your body, it is you, and you have the right to ask these questions, even if you feel like they know more. They don't always know more, but even if they did know more in a medical sense, they don't know you. So you go in there armed with questions, and if you can't advocate for yourself, you grab somebody along with you for that exam. I don't care if it's COVID and they restrict the amount of people in there. You want to say, well, then you're going to have to do virtual with me, and my friend is going to sit next to me, or my family member is going to sit next to me, so that you have clarity.
That's it. Stand your ground. Stand your ground to make sure you stay healthy. Yeah.
Because sometimes when you get these diagnoses, you can't think clearly. You're in a fog because you're just sort of devastated. Then grab your tribe people and have them sit with you so that they can be your voice for that moment where you're just sort of a little spacey, and help you. You know, this is a group effort. It's, you know, what's the expression? It takes a village, you know, to raise a child. It takes a village to raise all of us, even as adults. And that's what we're here. That's what our platform is for as well, because we want you to know that we're in your corner. So is the tribe that watches. And so don't be afraid to ask for help. Don't be afraid to seek out information. And don't be afraid to feel yourself up.
Now, touch yourself. Touch
That's
yourself.
right.
See what you're dealing with. That's beautiful, and it's so important. And what I'm learning now is what you put into your body. It's just it's imperative that you know what it is you're putting in your body, because it affects many different parts of your organs, of even your psyche, your mental status. So, you know, it's more expensive to eat healthy, but you have a more positive and sustainable longevity in your life, that you can enjoy life instead of eating non-healthy foods and then not having the energy to get up and walk out in nature. So you got to choose wisely, mi gente. You got to wake up and be the gatekeeper of your body and of your mind. Keep that spirit dancing.
Yes, absolutely. For years with you want the longevity. You want to, it's not just about living to 90 and 100 anymore. It's like you want to live to 90 and 100 and be jumping out of the airplane and be riding the horse and be doing all the things that, you know, physically, mentally, you want to be involved and engaged. So this is, you know, that's our spiel. We're going to step off our soapbox for at this point. Very informative. This has been a very informative, what do you think, Gladiator Guru? This was a very informative episode, and we encourage all of you to get out there. And this isn't just about voting and stepping up. That wasn't just the conversation. That was the main conversation. The other conversation is you have a choice for your life. You choose what you want to choose for yourself, what resonates with you, and then you step up and you play big in your life. Whatever that means, voting, you know, taking care of yourself, self-love, you know, breast exams, beyond, eating well, whatever it is your choice to, and then you will, it will spill over in other people around you. They'll learn from you.
Absolutely. You know, once you start something in a positive vibe, it's like you attract other positive vibes that maybe were afraid to use their voice. So you never know how many lives you can change by just standing up for what you believe in. That's going to benefit not only you and your family, but your community as a whole. And that's how we got to start thinking. We got to start thinking past our own nose. You know, 2020 was the year to learn, was the year to expand, to stretch ourselves further than we've ever had, and to learn more about ourselves so that we can be more engaged in the lives of others, inclusive your community. So, mi gente, I think it was a phenomenal show today. I thank everybody who joined in. Bad Habits Buddha, you were just on it. Boom, boom, boom. So that was good. You know, it was, I think
So
it was an easy flow because I
Yes.
think we all believe in what the message was today.
yes.
And even though we
absolutely.
might not be, we might not have had all of the details and been part of the planning, but we all shared the same passion for what was being said today.
Absolutely, absolutely.
awesome.
So we have all the information that you will need to be able to connect with our beautiful guests this morning and support this. Again, www.parentswholead organization.org. And so, but I have it, I put in the comments, and then we're going to put it in the description of the video. So you will get all that stuff, and we encourage you to do that. So on Tuesday's show, and Tuesday and Thursday, actually, we're going to have a 2-part conversation on being a caregiver. So if you are a caregiver, or if you know somebody who's a caregiver, this is going to be a great conversation. And we both Gladiator Guru and I have experience with this. We were both caregivers. So, and she currently is. So we encourage you to come on to that conversation. It really should be great because it's also going to be a self-care piece for the caregiver. We're going to talk about that and self-love. So everybody have a wonderful, beautiful weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday. And remember, be you, be real, and be extraordinary. Gladiator Guru.
Mi gente, remember, hashtag Viva Café con Leche, hashtag Taza de Café Challenge, and hashtag Hope Votes. Now, breathe in the beauty, because there's always beauty around you, and breathe out that bullshit that tags along. Namaste, mi gente.
Bye, everybody.